For the first time since 2013, the Tigers took on the Blue Devils of Duke. The Tiger Lacrosse Report starts now.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
Wise Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. You come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years at the Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome, fans, to another edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Shawn Nadelen. And this past Saturday, the Tigers took on the Duke Blue Devils in Johnny Unitas Stadium. It was a great crowd. It looked great early in the fourth quarter, but then things did not go the Tigers' way as they fall 10-8. But, Coach, the story of this game was your comeback, and I guess the first story is, why was Duke able to jump out to a 7-2 lead?
We were undisciplined and unorganized at both ends of the field. We were doing a decent job facing off, but we weren't on the same page defensively. We were kind of a step slow, so that shows me that we weren't communicating greatly on the field. Offensively, we just weren't in sync. We were careless turnovers a few times and things like that. And we had nice opportunities in the first half to score some goals, and just didn't put the ball past their goalie and didn't take care of finishing our shots. So, a good team's going to take advantage of your mistakes, and they did.
Well, 7-2, and things weren't looking good, but all of a sudden the Tigers go on a run, and over the next quarter and some few minutes, a 6-goal run to take an 8-7 lead. What was the difference between that 7-2 deficit start and what happened after that?
Our guys, I feel like, just turned up the focus and the intensity just that much more. We came into halftime. I didn't go crazy on them. I was just like, guys, we had great opportunities. We didn't finish them off. We're getting good looks. Defensively, we need to get, as I said, more in sync, which we knew we could. So fortunately, coming in the third quarter, our offense stepped it up, got a goal early, and I think that just kind of sparked, some good good production out of those guys, and really got the team spirits a little bit higher. So again, I think we played more aggressive, more poised. We made Duke really have to work to rotate and to beat us on the defensive end. We didn't play a lot of defense in the third quarter, which I think helped a little bit too.
Shane Brennan also had another very, very good day in the goal. He made some outstanding saves for you on the defensive end.
He did. He was seeing the ball pretty well. I know he said in the post-game press conference he wanted to get that last one by Gutterdine back on a pretty low-angled shot. But I thought he was pretty on the ball majority of the day.
There were, and you probably won't want to comment, but there were a couple of questionable calls that could have changed things. There was a slash that was never called right in front of your bench, and then there was a tip ball which, and I know you were
Did,
traveling.
did you see the tip ball?
I did.
If you saw the tip ball, I don't know how the refs didn't see the tip ball. I know your eyesight's not great, but
Oh, I can see far away. I just can't see up close. But no, is there a point where maybe you can get the refs to get together and talk about that, or do they refuse to do that?
well, they all, and I tried to,
Because it was
the
obvious. I
box
mean, the
side-
ball just changed direction.
Right, and the box side officials, obviously, they're the closest ones to me, so I was trying to communicate that to them and making sure that they were looking, and they looked at all three of each other, and they all said they had nothing, so I guess that warranted, no meeting between the three of them, but everybody saw it. I mean, watching it on film again, the kid that tipped it by Duke, it wasn't like he was going upfield ready for, to clear the ball. He got back into the defense, was just, sitting there, and then a couple of his teammates were pointing, upfield, trying to get the call. Our entire offense was saying it was tip, tip, tip. Obviously, the bench was, the entire, stadium saw that it was tipped, but
Yeah,
three guys
because
in
the
stripes.
trajectory of the ball obviously changed, and
Right.
it just doesn't happen.
And that was
in
huge,
midair.
And again, we were down 2 goals at that point. We put ourselves in that position by some mistakes, but that, having an offensive possession, another offensive possession, gets us to maybe 1. We were winning faceoffs, and again, you never know how it unfolds, but it felt like that was taken away from us.
Okay, so you lose the game 10-8, but at the same time, they're the number 1-3 in the country, and I know you don't care about moral victories, but at the same point, your guys now know they can play with any team in the country.
Yeah, and I feel like we know that, but we just didn't do a good job in the early part of the season understanding what that really should look like in practice, what that should look like on game day. But I feel like through the past couple of games, they've understood that a little bit more and realized that we're pretty talented, and we're pretty darn good. We just can't be our toughest opponent, and that's something we continue to communicate, continue to understand how we need to be that much sharper, limit the turnovers. I mean, we still had quite a few turnovers, and we have to limit those in order to be successful.
All right, so the Tigers back on the road next week as they will take on the University of Denver Pioneers. Tune in later this week to TowsonTigers.com as Coach Nadelen and I talk about the matchup between the Tigers and another top 10 team as they will travel to Denver. So for head coach Shawn Nadelen, I'm Spiro Morekas. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. And as always, go Tigers.